Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is John. Thanks for checking out the video. Today we're going to do an SGC reveal. It's been about 2 weeks since I've done a video, so I feel a little bit rusty, but in today's video, as I mentioned, the SGC reveal from the cards that I dropped off at the National Convention. It took about 2 weeks for those cards to get back to me, just if anybody's curious. I dropped them off on Wednesday. I didn't expect that those cards would even go through the grading process until the following Monday. If you're familiar with SGC, it tells you when they're in a post-grading status. And so I think that those cards went into post-grading the following Thursday, so the Thursday after the National. And then they kind of sat in post-grading status until the next Thursday, or maybe it was even first thing in the morning on Friday, just this past Friday, when they went into shipping status. I've already done the review video portion of this video, so I'm going to just cut you over to that here in just a second. But prior to going into looking at those cards, I didn't reveal any of the grades. I didn't know what those cards were going to grade out as. I do talk about some of my kind of loose expectations related to grades on what I was thinking kind of pre in this video, so I'll go through some of that here in these next couple of clips. I will also be referring to this card, which came back as counterfeit. This is not my card. Well, in a weird way, it used to be my card. It's not my card. I had purchased this card. Instantly upon getting it, I questioned the gentleman that I purchased the card from, saying, I don't think this is a real card. He refunded my money, which is what I would expect. I've purchased a few cards from him in the past. Long story short, he asked me to have this card graded, and then we came to terms on what I would pay for the card. If it came back as authentic, it would have been like the original price that I had paid. If it came back as a 1 or a 2, there was a slight increase. Assuming the card came back as real, I was 100% confident that this card was fake. I may end up doing a full video on this card and just kind of share that story in a little bit more detail, but I want to reach out to the seller before I do. Plus, I need to see what he wants to do with this counterfeit card. So, all right, I'm going to flip you guys over to the second piece of the video. I just want you guys to know, I know it's been about a 2-week hiatus since I've made a video. I do have a couple of other videos queued up that I'm in the process of putting together, so I should be a little bit more consistent over the next couple of weeks. I apologize for the lack of consistency, but I just didn't really have anything to talk about, and you know, I've just been really kind of watching other content creators instead of looking to make my own content. So a little bit of a break from a content perspective, but with today's video, hopefully this kicks us back off for a little bit more consistency. Try and get back to a twice-a-week posting schedule. All right, let me flip you guys over to the second piece of this video where I actually do the SGC reveal, and I hope you guys enjoy. Let me face down. So let's go like this. All right, so this card here is exactly what I thought it was going to be. It's a bit different video for a different day, but it's a fake card. Babe Ruth. There's a story behind this card. I will share that story at another time, but I am working with the original seller of that card. That's why I got mailed out today, or got mailed out with this order, or dropped off with this order anyway, and I will share that story another day. Should be 10 total cards here. I don't know any of the grades, so this will be just as much of a surprise for me as it is for you. But let's kind of walk through. This is a 1901 Ogden's Guinea Gold John Ball. So reason why these 1901 cards, I got them graded, was more for preservation than anything else. Any card really older than 1959, I'm going to make a pretty conservative effort to try and grade you know, rookie cards or key players over the next couple of years. But this card here, I actually thought would be somewhere in the 3 to 3.5 range related to an overall grade. And I'm less concerned about the grades, but just based upon what I thought it would end up with, and a 3. Bum corner down there, but generally the card was in pretty good shape outside of that. So I thought that one actually had a better chance of a 3-5. But 3, we're not going to complain. Next card, this is the H. Taylor Guinea Gold from 1901. And these cards are basically all going to be different sizes. So this one, if you're paying attention, might be slightly wider than the other card, than the John Ball was. But J.H. Taylor was one of the big golfers back in his era. My guess on this card was actually that it would be like a 1-5. On a good day, a 2. Obviously, you can see the flaking here. There's some, you know, almost pilling up of the card down at the bottom of it, the way how it was stored for all those years. And a 2, so that's actually a good grade. Good surprise on that one. Final one of these is going to be the H.H. Hilton. By the way, all of these guys won the British Open Championship at some point in their life, so all these guys are major championship winners. This card I actually thought would have a chance between like a 2.5 and a 3. I think that the ball was a better looking card, so I'm going to say a 2.5 on this one, but I think of my original list, I thought this would be grading out around a 2.5 or a 3, and wow, it got a 3. So that's good news. Obviously, this one's got some more chipping on the side here. The corners aren't quite as nice as the ball, and then the back had some additional staining. So a pretty generous 3. Pretty happy about that overall. Next card. Apologize with all the golf ones, and I think I may have just gotten a little bit of a peek there. But this is the 1971 Barrett of Gary Player. This would be, in my opinion, his rookie card. I know that a lot of people will, if you go look at like comc and, you know, pack polled, Victor, the rookie card guy, is going to tell you it's going to be the 1990 Pro set. But there's lots of cards of Gary Player before that 1990 Pro set. And this is the first card of his that I know of in existence, so I would consider this his rookie card. Jack Nicklaus's rookie is in this same set, in my opinion. And I thought this would be a 7, and I think I already got a peek of this. As you can tell, it's not perfectly centered, and it did. It got a 7, a near mint 7. So not surprised there. Corners on this was pretty sharp. That's what the back of these look like. But generally, this is a good card. It was in good shape, so a 7 is not much of a shock there. That's kind of what I thought it would get. Try and cover this up a little bit better. So this is a Hank Aaron. This is actually a snap card. I bought this card with a kind of off-brand grading company case, Ace Grading. They had it graded as a 4. I picked the card up for like 75 bucks, something like that. Took kind of a bit of a gamble, hoping that it wasn't going to be trimmed. And it's funny, when I got that card from the eBay seller, basically the slab that the card came in was really no tighter than like the old snap cases that you and I, some of us older collectors, are going to be familiar with. So it basically just popped right apart. Took a good look at the card. There's a little bit of a indentation up here at the top, but generally the surface was clean. Its centering is not great. I figured a 4 would be a good, solid copy for this, and I got a 4.5, so that's good. Slightly higher than I thought it would come back at. That's the back of the card. Not clean, a little bit of a ding there on the corner, so 4.5, probably slightly generous on this card. A 4, wouldn't have been shocked if this was a 4. That's what obviously I thought it was going to come back with, but pretty happy. That's a 4.5. The Gaylord Perry. If you watched one of my earlier videos, I mentioned this card was also a snap. This was previously graded by GMA Grading, and I think they had it listed as a 5.5. Might have been a 5. I knew it wasn't a 5 just based upon the overall condition, the centering, 2 bum corners, as far as some white flaking. This, matter of fact, all of the corners are a little bit white flaked. They had it listed, GMA had it listed as a 5.5. I thought a 4 would probably be a more fair representation on this card. The back of it's fairly clean, and it did get a 4. So not a surprise. This is a card in the 4 slab, and based upon what I paid for it, plus the grading, I probably could have just rebought the card and kept it in the GMA slab. I probably paid less than 20 bucks for this card way back in 2017, 2018 timeframe. So, this wasn't a huge victory. I just didn't want to have to rebuy a card that I already owned. But as I got ready to actually hand this over for grading, I honestly didn't expect it to come back better than a 4, and I was right. This is a cool card. This card, though, I damaged personally. I damaged trying to take it out of the penny sleeve. It wasn't a traditional penny sleeve. It's one that was specifically made for tobacco type cards. I had it in there and I flaked up this corner trying to take it out of that stinking penny sleeve, which really irked me. So pre-grading, I actually think I thought that this card would be somewhere in the 4 or 5 range. The fact that I damaged the corner trying to get it into a regular penny sleeve to hand it over to SGC for grading. Honestly, guys, the card's not perfect. These other corners are all a little bit rounded. Yeah, if this has a grade higher than a 3, it's probably going to be misgraded. So you can't really tell on the slab here, but I did pill up that corner pretty bad, which, like I said, was a big bummer. And a 2.5. Yeah, guess I'm not surprised there. It may have had a chance at a 4 without the damage on this one corner, but yeah, that sucks. These cards, by the way, this is a Kellogg's Pep. Came out of cereal. Obviously, there's a printing error there in Sam Snead's name. Not the way it's spelled, just the ink error. But these things are really, really thin. And so like a card like this, to get it preserved is key, because these things are they're not paper thin. There might be slightly thicker card stock, but it's not much thicker than that. And then they're just so old, 1948, that, preservation's key for me on a lot of these sort of cards. But, I probably paid 35 bucks for this. Actually, I think I paid a little bit more than that. I might have paid closer to 60 bucks for this. And in the condition that it was in, plus the grading, I would have been happy if it would have come back around a 4. But after I damaged that corner, I probably would be lucky to break even on what I'm into that card at this point in time. But it's okay because it's a PC card. This is what I would consider Sam Snead's rookie card. It's the oldest card that I'm aware of for Sam Snead. Again, came out of Kellogg's Pep cereal. This same set has a Bob Waterfield, who's a Hall of Fame quarterback. I think it's also got a George Mikan, which would make that like an oddball rookie card for George Mikan, who is a Hall of Famer for basketball. I think this is the last, this should be the last golf card. I've got 2 modern day cards after this. So this is a Bobby Jones, what I would consider the rookie card, 1926 Lambert and Butler, the who's who's in sports. He does have a 25 through 29 cut card, but the research I've done, I don't think that the Bobby Jones cards were made in 1929. So I would consider this, in my opinion, his rookie card. I've got a number of Bobby Jones cards. I actually have this card graded as well. Picked this card up from a seller out of the UK. I think I'm into this card raw, about 200 bucks. Corners are a little bit rounded. I think the card, pre-grading, even though it has great centering, generally speaking, I was thinking a 4 was going to be a good solid number on this card. And 4.5, so that's actually really good. So 4.5 for this card. in today's market probably is about a $500+ card. Not that I'm looking to sell it. Here's the back of the card if you've never seen it. But not looking to necessarily sell this. Obviously, kind of during the pandemic, this card spiked up a little bit like most cards did and kind of GOAT cards did. But pretty happy with that 4.5. I'm not shocked that it's a 4.5. Rounded corners, but great centering, great overall presentation. Really happy to add that as a 4.5. LeBron. So this is the XRC LeBron. This was a redemption card from the year before Topps Finest. And then if you pulled the number 1 redemption, whoever the number 1 pick was that next year, we all knew it was going to be LeBron. That was this card for folks that may not be all that familiar with modern. I picked this card up pre-pandemic, so I picked this up before most of the LeBron stuff, like shot through the roof. I really think that this was probably an 8 as far as grading is concerned. There was just a little bit of like print issues that I didn't think it'd be higher than an 8. But let's see. Oh, an 8.5. Wow. Okay, that's good. Now, this is a card that's probably come down quite a bit. I don't actually know what they currently sell for in an 8.5, a 9, and 10. I don't actually know. But just with some of the print scratches, and you can tell that they're true print scratches. And then I think that there was a little bit of a flaking right around there. But yeah, 8.5. Happy about that. Really, really happy about that. The black on it was pretty solid, which is good. That's one of the areas where these cards raw that you have to pay attention to if you're going to buy them raw. But not the biggest LeBron fan or the biggest LeBron collector, but I like having this. I like the normal rookie card in the Finest. The Topps Chrome and the Topps would be the cards that I target to pick up. Final card, another modern card. I had this marked as a 9. This card was actually in a Beckett 9.5 slab. It was cracked, not by me, but by somebody else. That individual was a collector who sold during the pandemic. He kept this card and a few others. He let these cards kind of crash back down to the floor, and then he offered an opportunity for me to pick up this card and a few others. I did pass on the other cards, but I did pick up this card. I did see this card in a 9.5 slab in the, this is a numbered card, so I do know that this one was truly the 9.5 Beckett 9.5. So pre-grading, I thought it would be a 9, just because I always think that you're always going to get dinged lower. I don't know why. I'm a pessimist that way, but a 9 is kind of what I thought this would be. And by the way, I cut this out. You guys know how Beckett seals up the cards. I actually cut this out of the seal. So even though he took it out of the slab, he used the baggie that's sealed up, or the plastic that's sealed up, as his penny sleeve in the way that he wanted this card to be displayed. So, oh, ouch, a 7, really? Well, that is a huge bummer. You know, there may be a little bit of a surface issue there. As I'm moving that back and forth in the light, I don't know. It could be on this baggie, but I was not expecting a 7, so that's a bummer. Now, these cards are just PC cards. All these cards are PC cards, by the way, but these cards are just PC cards, even though they're modern cards. I got them slabbed up just because I thought it'd be cool to display them at some point. It's kind of the XRCs for, you know, 2 of the current greats, regardless of what you think of Durant. I'd consider him one of the current greats, him and Steph and LeBron, of course, Harden, Westbrook. But yeah, I'm super excited. That's an 8.5. I would have thought this would have been graded lower, and I'm super bummed that's a 7. But, you know, it's how it rolls sometimes. But all these are PC cards. Those are my 10 PC cards. I will share the story behind this in a future video. I want to talk to the seller. I've actually been paid back for that card and graded it for him with an agreement that if it was to come back real, I was not only going to buy the card back from him, but I was going to buy that card back at a premium based upon what it graded out as. I was 100% sure this was a counterfeit card. You could just feel it. that it wasn't correct. And so I need to talk with him about that. I'm not surprised that it shows up as counterfeit. It has also those like squiggly lines when somebody uses T to try and intentionally age a card. So not surprised there, but he took the gamble at 15 bucks, had it come back as authentic. And there's a reason why he thought it was going to come back at least authentic. And, ultimately he spent 15 bucks for this, but we had already kind of agreed on terms based upon whatever grade it would come back at. But as I've shared with you guys, I wasn't 99.9. I was 100% sure this was a counterfeit card, and SGC thought the same. So I'll do some feedback about that card in a future video. These are the SGC pickups from the National, not pickups, but submissions from the National on the 15-day submission that I did. My 10 cards. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's see, which one's my favorite? This is an easy one to call my favorite. And I'm slightly surprised. I figured that would be a 4. So to 4-5, really excited to add that. Already had it graded, but anytime you can pick up a Bobby Jones card or get a Bobby Jones rookie card graded, it's a good day. So, all right, guys, let's wrap this one up. As always, we'll just chat with you guys in the next one.